Well, hello there. Good morning and welcome. It's Thursday the 9th of September in my little corner of the internet, and here in Wales we've had some really heavy rain showers, which is lovely because it's cooling the air down, and I've not slept well again. Really weird nightmarish dreams. Heat. I'm convinced it's just being overly warm. But there we are. It'll be fine. It's forecast to be cooler for the next couple of days, which suits me fine. But as it's Thursday, it's Template Thursday for the Angela Porter's Colouring Book Fans Facebook group. And yesterday I showed me drawing this. And to complete this week's template, I did this one. And the idea is that these little sections here can stand on, can be on their own like little pictures or whatever. But the idea is that they can host something like a picture from a photo booth picture, or a picture clipped out of a magazine, or perhaps even something like a button, a backed on card, or a single earring from a lost pair, or a cufflink, or a piece of sea glass, or whatever it may be that is small enough to fit in that space. Bearing in mind, of course, you can always print these out bigger, so you get a bigger one. Just smaller if you need something smaller. And I just thought it'd be a nice way of framing these. My worry was that the background, the outside, would be perhaps a bit too fussy for the photographs, but actually not, because they're distinctly different, aren't they, in style and appearance. So these are the originals, except this one on the copy, if you download it, this here will actually be colourless. Just turning the autofocus off so it doesn't move when I move my hands around, which is great. So I'll whisk those out the way. I made a mistake when I was colouring them in. This is one I've completely coloured, and I've done it in greys and blues and greens, very soft, very muted, and all the colours I used are in from the set of Arteza Blues and Greys, or Greys set, grey tones. And I actually really like this. Perhaps a bit too much grey, perhaps I could have picked some other colours from another set of pens, but it's the first time I've ever used greys, so that's really nice. And you can see what I mean about the middle bit being fab for just on its own, like a little picture put there. But if I put this lady in there, then although the picture here is sort of sepia toned, the background is neutral and it works okay. If I have the photograph of the boy is less browny in colour and actually sits there a bit better. That one looks much nicer. So that'll be the one that I'd chosen. I have trimmed these down, and what I did on the edge that would normally be white is I ran around it with one of the markers with the chisel end with this darkish colour here, so that it would actually blend in and not have that stark white edge. But it looks nice. And once they're fixed down, then I've got the potential to put perhaps a gold line around or something like that, some gold dots. I'll come back to that. I've started adding colour to the other one. Put boy there. And for this one I'm choosing more browner tones. And I'm going to stick to those. I may drag a couple of others out because some of them are quite samey perhaps. But the inner bit, I've just picked out this pattern. And if you focus on them, you can actually see on one colour, you can actually see there's almost like windmill blades there. But that was fun to do. And of course, this will pop on there quite nicely. So I printed these out. Yes, I printed them out on my printer. This isn't digitally done. That one yesterday took me all of yesterday and some of this morning to finish. I'm not a fast colourer. And when it comes to blending and so on, and I've still got shadows to put in and some highlights, and I'm going to come back to that in a moment anyway. You'll see. But that one, those colours will fit more nicely with this person here. You're a bit yellowish, the colour, but it'll do fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So this one's got quite a bit left to do. But of course, you could go for bright colours. Do I have an example of bright colours? Nope, not a single one. But whatever you think will work, because obviously your photo booth pictures may not be vintage and toned like this. They may be really good looking black and white ones, they may be modern colour ones, or they could be anything, any image that you could fit in this space. And don't forget, it could even go up to here, big. And this, you know, the same on this one where we've got all up to here, you could have an image in and still have a border around it. And as I said, I'm quite enjoying creating these. They're fun. They could also be used to mount on greetings cards. You'd need a big card for this. You'd need a piece of, in the UK and Europe, it'd be A4 folded in half to make an A5 size card. In America, I think these would fit on a letter size, you know, letter card folded in half. But you could also trim these a little bit more than I have to the edge, because I have cut them out to trim them on, because I prefer working with smaller bits of paper than big things. So what do you think? And tomorrow, who knows, by tomorrow I may have remembered that I needed to do other things to put here, so I'm not going to adhere these pictures down. I couldn't find my gold card to put a mat underneath the images, because this one would look quite nice with a mat underneath it like that, or with you know, gold lines or something around it. This one, the edge, you know, the border around it is really quite nice as it is, though again, you know, it'd be quite nice with something gold and metallic. So I'm going to pop pictures and that brown one that I've started colouring to one side safe, because I can't leave these as they are. I think we know this, don't we? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look and see what colour. If I got a colour here, I haven't got a grey out, it's fine. But I am going to go and dig out this. This is my white souffle pen, because I do want to add, even though this is going to be hidden on mine, I still want to put some detail in these. Some highlights just to show an option again. Now there wouldn't be any showing from the ones underneath, but the other ones there would be. Yeah, so it's 3 dots, a big one in the middle and smaller ones to either side. And the souffle pen does take a little while to dry, but it leaves a lovely raised surface. The marker paper, it works really, really well. And then there's loads of places for me to add little highlights here to lift the colours, because the greys are great, but now then the question is, do I do dots or do I do lines? Do you know, I might try just doing some lines. Because I think lines will be neater if I can get the shape going right. Twist the paper, this is my problem, and it's seeing where I've been already. It's not till they dry will they be really completely visible, surprisingly. I love these souffle pens. See, I could do the same with an ordinary white gel pen. I love the tactile feeling the souffle gives. And hopefully these will dry before I complete today's video, which will be, I think, a short one. and you'll see what I mean about them. It's a shame you can't put your hands through, or your fingers through the screen and touch them when they dry to feel how lovely and tactile they are. Now, some of these seeds inside, I realised that I needed to add the highlight with this pen, because I wasn't able to leave a gap of white, which is what I wanted to do. So I can just go back in and add it with these. And that's perfectly fine to do. Who says you can't? These tools exist, you know, like pens and pencils and everything else exist for a reason, and that's for us to use them, and to use them however we wish. And with art, you can go down the road of there being lots of rules for art, and there may be better ways of doing things. In some people's estimations, there may be only one way of doing things as far as they're concerned. And, you know, there's still attitudes prevail that, oh, you know, what you do isn't good art because it's not what comes from an art college or an art school. But who's to say that? Just because it's not to your taste, or not to what you've been educated to believe, doesn't mean that it's correct, as far as I'm concerned. Of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and what art you like is very much a personal kind of thing, and that's great. I feel like I'm talking very judgmentally here. I don't mean to be, but it's just that I've had some education in art, but not a lot. Mostly I'm self-taught, and I still struggle with the idea that what I do artistically is as valid as anybody else's. I'm reading an interesting book. Oh gosh, what's it called? I'll open my Kindle because it's on there. And I'll find it there. And it's a really interesting book. I've actually got two books by the same author. And, oh, there we go, here it is. Library. Art Before Breakfast by Danny Gregory. And in there he's got a couple of pages dedicated to what art with a big A is and what art with a little a is. And art with a big A is basically what is considered collectible, resellable, expensive in, you know, galleries and auctions, and you know, sort of like almost a status symbol for those who purchase it in many ways, especially the very expensive kind of art. Or there's art with a little a, which is about each person being creative in their own way, accepting their creativity, whatever it means for them, and having confidence or the just the desire to create and to do something every day, with that we'll all draw and create in our own way, in our own voice, as they say, in very much in the same way that we all have unique handwriting. You know, artists can tell who painted a picture from the way the brushstrokes are made, and forgery experts certainly can. Art forgery ones can see if a grandmaster has been sold is a fake forgery, and as good as the forgers can be, they can't eradicate everything that is their own way of moving their muscles, their hands. They can mimic, but they can't exactly replicate. And that's how forgers are caught and art forgeries are recognised, kind of. So it's an interesting book. I like it when people are plain about things. And he's talking, it's from him, it's from personal experience. He's got several books to his names. I think his art is bought and sold. Or, you know, he's I think he works as an illustrator. See, memory, brain fog. What's the name of the other book? Do you know what? I don't know, but it's on my bed, so I'll get it. I haven't started reading it yet. Oh, it's called The Creative License, Giving Yourself the Permission to Be the Artist You Truly Are. And that, again, is a title that intrigues me because, again, it is that kind of permission, because from a young age we're taught what is considered really good work in art, as in the grandmasters, or, you know, the artworks that are seen as being good examples of art. It's often only after death that people's art is recognised as being good, which is quite sad, really. In the day of the internet, things are all different. I'm not the only person in the world who draws art similar to what I do, but people who know my work can recognise it as, oh, that's an Angela Porter. And that's how people who've made copies of my books and uploaded them as if it's their own get caught by people who know my work, because I get alerted to it. By them, not by the forgers or the copyright thieves, as it were, but by people who know and love my artwork. So it's annoying. It happens, though, and people soon realise it's a knockoff. Hopefully, I'm not overdoing this. The chances are I absolutely am. Because that's what I do. I try. It's not always successful for me to hold my dot addiction back, but it does help, I think. Or it adds to the patterns, and it's a way of bringing out the shapes as well. Those balls up there look quite shiny, don't they? Possibly. I'm not sure if it's showing up for you yet, but it certainly is here. Okay, I've got these to do, so there, and I know I've got another bunch of them somewhere, haven't I? Oh yes, here. The nice thing about adding things like this as well is where the markers haven't blended all that well together, these add as a bit of a distraction. I'm not going over the edge, but close to, so there's a disguise going on, and I think that works quite nicely. Right, are all of these dots dry? They are. So I can over here. Now I'm definitely going to put some down the blue. Not sure about the green wedges of these particular motifs, but I think the blue they look nice on. This is one of the most enjoyable jobs I have when it comes to finishing the artwork up, because it's those finishing touches, it's the icing on the cake, and it just feels then that everything is finished in its way. It's got those last little touches that bring it to life, or continue to. And I'm so glad I've decided to use, I've gone and stuck my living finger in these. It's okay, we can fix that. Just remind yourself is not to go near them. These white dots will also help to bring more white back and brighten the picture up somewhat. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied here. And these seeds in here also need a bit of a highlight, I think. Okie dokes. Where else? Oh, I could go everywhere. Do I need to, though? This is the question. Do I need to go everywhere? Not entirely sure. These ones I'd like to do that, and I'm going to put one in the black segments, and then I think that'd be nice. And I'm just having a look to see whether there's anything else. Yeah, there is. Right, these are all dry down here, so it's right for my hand to go in. I'm going to add some little white spots along the edge here. And I'm also going to do it on the edge of these puffy bits, because I think these puffy bits deserve a bit of highlights as well. And then I need to do these ones. Just to bring those highlights around the edge. Okie dokes. And then let's have a look. That'll be all right there, I think. And anywhere else? Just looking to see whether there's anywhere else that absolutely desperately. I think I'm going to leave these spirals as they are. I think I'll leave the leaves as they are. And I think that is nicely done, perhaps. See if I add a bit of light, you can see the colours a bit better. I think so. It's a bit grey out. It's going to get darker through the winter months, so. But there we are. What do you think? Does it work? Wasn't that one? It was the young lads, wasn't it? How does that work there then? I think that will be just lovely. And this one, maybe I'll end these up, get these finished. This definitely needs a border around her, but perhaps I'll do a bit of a giveaway. Who knows? Let me know if you'd like to see a giveaway for these, some kind of competition to win them. So I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of time with me this morning as I finish these off. Well, one off, the other one I've still got a lot of work to do, giving you some ideas. Lots of things that could go in those spaces in the middle, those squares. It's just your imagination or your creativity that's the limit. I mean, even an inchy or a twinchy could fit in there, or a tiny piece of embroidery or some polymer clay sculptures, something like that. Anything, a tiny little tile that you've made would work. A found object, pressed flower, backed onto something, anything. You know, whatever you could imagine could go there. And so I look forward to seeing how people use these and make use of them. Hopefully people will show me. So I'll say thank you now for spending time with me. Thank you for joining me once again and for visiting my little corner of the internet, my arty corner. And please take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, and don't forget to take time to be creative. Bye-bye for now.